down for I guess 3 or 4 hours and just sort of barked out all the dialogue. It was great. I mean, it's such a weird concept to do something with multiple animation styles in it. I didn't think it was going to work when I kept thinking it was going to work, right? I'm like constantly pessimist. But having said, like, the Rankin and Bass stuff there is so great. Like, it brings. Did you guys like that? That style? Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great. There's an anime style that comes in, and we do Looney Tunes and Simpsons and South Park, and there's all sorts of styles all the way through. It's really fun. So much work for everyone else. But it was
really luxurious.
Didn't they? Yeah.
Shanae thing.
And you have some guest star voices as well.
Oh, that's right. We had Jim Parsons came in. We had Eddie Almost came in. We had who else came in? Taggart obviously came in. Brewer. Anyone else in that?
Did you get to work with them? Like, were you?
No, Eddie did his, I think, out of New York or LA, and Parsons did him out of New York, and then Chris Parnell he did his out of LA, and then came for a day on set.
Yeah.
So we did have some stuff, but we were shooting this one scene. It was 4 in the morning in Chilliwack. We had no time to shoot it because we had a hard out on the street, and they had, I think, 7 giant crates of ice that they were breaking down because we were bringing like a dog sled through the street of the town in July. So that felt Christmassy and weird because we had the cast and the crew and everybody breaking down the ice with like axes, and because we had no time, everyone had to sort of chip in to get it done. So that was really entertaining. And the town really liked seeing that. The town of Chilliwack is like, what do you people do for a living? You know, as we're breaking down ice.
Chilliwack is where you shoot the Eureka Street.
Yeah. So that we could shoot a dog sled scene in July, as you do.
It's great.
Yeah.
And Eddie, so obviously this year it looks like Warehouse is doing a little bit of It's a Wonderful Life. Did you channel your like inner Jimmy Stewart for that, or how did that work?
I was almost just now going to do a Jimmy Stewart, but it's not good enough to do in front of all you knowledgeable people. So, although I liked last year's episode, it seemed a little fluffier than this year's. Certainly, this year's episode is it's an actual Warehouse 13 episode. It's got all the it's got a lot of great twists and turns, and Pete, when he falls in the Isle of Noel there, an artifact, he comes into contact with an artifact that makes him so that he had never been born. What would have happened to the warehouse had he never been born? And there's some really great stuff. Jack Kenny, our exec producer, he directed the episode. And he came to me like 2 weeks before, and he just said, look, I'm directing this episode. You're in every scene. There's a lot of time. Because most of the time, I just get in there and act like an idiot, and then I get to I'm done. But this time, I actually had to act and do some like pages of dialogue. So he said, be prepared. And I was really pleased with the way it turned out. We got to see it a couple weeks ago at Jack's house, and I think you guys are going to like it.
And Emily, so this was the first holiday. First of all, thank you for being here. I think from the Mideast, country of Jordan. So
Jordan,
it's
yes.
probably like God only knows what time it is for you.
Yeah, I have no clue.
But what was that like? Was it good to kind of do a completely different episode that kind of stepped out of the flow? Was it weird to shoot a Christmas episode in July? And obviously they made it work in the storyline, but.
Yeah, we were all laughing. We were saying we should have shot our Christmas episode first because we film up in Nova Scotia and it's freezing. It feels like Christmas half the time we're there anyway. But we actually did this as our last episode. It takes place sort of out of sequence, even though it's going to be obviously after the finale has aired. It takes place somewhere, I think, in between 6 and 7 or 7 or 8, somewhere in between there. But Chester was the same way. Chester, Nova Scotia was good. I mean, we had the entire town decorated in Christmas decorations, which really aided the fact that Audrey is, what on earth is going on? It just looks so out of place. And, but, Chester just enjoys anything that we do there, and they were really supportive, and it was really fun to actually see what that town would look like all decorated. And it was a good first for Haven to have this sort of, warm, fuzzy, wonderful, little Christmas episode. It was really nice.
Yeah, and Sean Pillar directed that, right?
Sean Pillar actually directed, he's our one of our executive producers, and then just a really cool story is it's written by Brian Milliken, and Brian Milliken actually started as an intern in our producer's office out of college, and he's been a writer's assistant for a really long time, and they handed over this episode to him and said, here, go ahead and write your first episode. And so he came up, and it was like Christmas for him, getting to watch it, you know, all be made, and he did a fantastic job, and so that was his first kind of step into the writing world, and it's been really neat to see how it turned out.
That's great. Yeah, it's been great to see Haven just in its second season kind of take its ownership of what it is as a series.
Yeah.
That finale was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It was great. It was great to watch it with her and Eric and Lucas.
It was good to have you there.
It was great. Yeah, we didn't get an invite to the Warehouse 13. Which is weird. Did you get invited to the? Because I didn't get. No, I didn't.
Well, they asked if I wanted you to come, and I said no.
No,
Because I have to be the biggest one in the room.
I could have catered. I would have brought. I could have catered.
He catered at ours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw him by the food table a lot.
I wasn't. Yeah, no.
You were there.
I was eating.
Frequently.
Yeah, true.
What a perfect cue to open it up to questions.
I took half that food, by the way.
I'm glad you did. It was good.
I spilled it all over my trunk.
Good morning.
Morning.
Question for Colin and for Eddie. Considering the season finales of both of your shows, where did the Christmas episodes fit in the continuity?
They're sort of free-floating episodes so that they can air, year after year after year. I guess it's where does it fit in the continuity? Happy Day in Eureka is what I would say. It's not supposed to be anywhere specific, much like Emily's answer, I think.
Yeah, same with ours. They're just standalone episodes that have nothing to do with any of the other episodes. Like last year, our Christmas episode ran after Micah had left the warehouse, and everybody was like, "Hey, Micah's back! But it was, again, like it is this year. They're just in and of themselves, their own story.
Yeah, mid-season 4 is what I would say. Because there's certain things that obviously, in our Christmas episode, you have Jenna and Kevin, so it's mid-season 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Over here, guys. This is for Colin. Given the final season of Eureka is coming up, what could you tell us might be the real moment we should be looking for during the season, from your perspective, that everybody should really, or everybody will really grasp onto?
Wow, I don't think it was built towards one specific moment, but obviously the end where we say goodbye was very poignant for us. We had the benefit of knowing that it was coming while we were shooting, so that's a huge gift to sort of be able to soak up those last 3 weeks with each other and put some heart into this final episode. And the end was I'm not terribly emotional about stuff like that, but it was wonderfully moving. Saying goodbye, like shooting your last scene with someone who you've been working with for 7 years. And in some of the plot lines they're leaving, so you're actually saying goodbye, and you actually are saying goodbye because you're not shooting another scene with them. So that stuff is really strangely, it gets you in between takes. So for us, that was a moment. We probably did it terribly, so there's probably other moments you're going to want to talk to. But there's some really funny stuff, which we did an episode where we become one another, and that turned out fantastically. So look forward to that. And there's a lot of, if we'd like to be remembered for anything, it's for being fun. So definitely the moments where you're laughing, remember those. Oh, how awkward.
This question's for Emily. How do you feel now that Audrey and Nathan are finally getting together to talk about what happened before it happens?
Are they getting together? That's such a good question.
They're just hooking up.
Relieving some stress in the workplace. It's just always fun. Their relationship is, an interesting partnership that exists, in this strange little world, and it'll be interesting to see if we get a chance, to see where that goes. It's always fun. I think the best part for me is just seeing the fans react. It's like we hold out for so long, and then when it happens, it's such a huge deal, It's, I think, one of my favorite scenes from the season I think it actually was in the finale, which was after the kiss and everything, is we're literally working together in really close proximity, and it's just really awkward being that close to each other. And just, for me, that what that provides us, the subtext that can be going on when we're saying all these other factual things, the fact that that can be, you know, the underlying current, to me, it's just always fun to play as an actor. So I enjoy it because it gives us a lot to do, but I don't really know what, you know, the future holds for them if they get one, you know, because to me, the play is that tension of on again, off again, you know, what that creates. So it's a lot of fun.
Great, thank you.
Right down here.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good.
What's it like when you do the Christmas episodes compared to doing the regular episodes? Is the tone different, like on set? Is the feel different, or do you treat it just like another episode?
It's hot.
It's very hot.
It's always in July. You always shoot in the middle of July, wearing parkas and hats.
Yeah, Eric had to wear that whole Santa outfit the whole time.
Well, you see it in the clip. He's like, yeah, we were working hard to trick you.
It's called acting.
No, it's nice. I mean, for us, it's really nice to shoot. It's by the end of the episode, you sort of feel festive, and everybody's some good mood comes out. It's odd that it does, but it's a good thing. I mean, yours was dark, so or darker, you were saying?
Yeah, and the last 2 years it's been our last episode. So we know that when we're done, I get to fly home from Toronto and see my family that I haven't gotten to really spend much time with for the last 5-6 months. So it's great, and I think that some of the holiday spirit just rubs off because with all the, the fake snow, and holiday cheer, it's good.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think it was weird for us this year because we hadn't done a Christmas episode last year, so when we ended on our finale, we sort of had these sort of, very sentimental feelings towards the season, and it was weird for us shooting the finale as being the second to the last episode, that the Christmas episode is the standalone thing. But it really was, I remember knowing we were shooting a Christmas episode for a long time, but then walking on set and watching all the Christmas decorations come up, and everybody was coming to work in Santa hats, and it makes for a really fun last day because everything's just like all lit up, and it's a lot of fun. But it's definitely weird to be in that headspace in August.
Yeah, and it's fun when you do shoot in a small town, like we shoot in July, you guys do in Chester, and the people of that town come out to see what like a professional set deck team can do to their street, and it's like it's amazing what they do. Like they'll turn the thing. It's amazing what professionals can do.
Yeah.
So that's fun to see them sort of go, wow, this is our street. Can we take pictures here? It's like, yes, you can.
And by the way, there's a lot actually that happens on that street in Chilliwack. That whole area in front of the sheriff's office, which is not really a sheriff's office, and the statue in the green, and
yeah, they build that out in the street that we shoot on. There isn't actually any green out front of they do it for the show. They put that whole green section, and the town loves it. The town is sort of lobbying to like, can we put in some green here? Like the professional set deck people say, we'll lose these parking spots because it's so pretty.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay. This one comes from the Twitterverse. It is a Haven question. Is Edge staying on the cast of Haven or just popping in here and there?
I don't know. He's fantastic, isn't he? He was such a great addition this season. He's, when I heard we were getting a wrestler on the show, I envisioned something completely different. I thought we'd have somebody bounding out of the trailer in spandex and a shaved head and, stocky and sort of ripped, and then I met Adam, and I was like, you look like a surfer. You're amazing. Another good-looking guy on our show. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then on top of that, he just did an amazing job in all of the scene work, and was just such everyone just really resonates with him and really gets him. And so I hope that if we get a chance to come back, that he will come back as well, because we really, really enjoy having him, and I know that he really enjoyed his time with us too. And Chester, oh my goodness, look out. There's a lot of fans in Chester that love him as well. So we'll have to maybe hide him if he comes back.
Over here.
When you guys were watching the clips before, I was watching you guys watching the clips, and you all had an amused look on your face. I'm just curious what was going through your mind watching them. As another question, well, why not? Overall, I was wondering, what is it about your individual shows that sort of is your passion for it? What drives your passion for shows?
I was thinking that my hair looked a little high. I have hair issues. I was on Bones a few years ago, and I was like, let's shave my head. Let's shave it. We'll shave the head. And they're like, no, because we don't want you to look like David Boreanaz. Everybody already thinks I'm David Boreanaz anyhow. So they gave me this, I just said to the hairdresser, just do whatever you think is going to be good. And they gave me this floppy Dorothy Hamill side part with the weight in the back. And
I love that this is what's going through your head. It's so detailed.
Are almost exact same.
Yeah, I have post-traumatic hair disorder. So, but then I was thinking about Colin's luxurious lips and your guys' great scene in the prison.
Well, that's the weird thing. These are my friends, and,
Yeah, it's
and I
weird
see
just
them all the
watching.
time, and it's really nice to watch. When I see their work, it sounds stupid, I'm really proud of them, and it's oh, they're doing good work, and oh, that's a nice turn, and so it's really fun to sort of see, you're up on stage with your friends, you're like, oh, good job, it's nice, it's warm. So
interestingly, when Warehouse was first, I think we had done the pilot, and I guess we had been picked up, and we were getting ready to do some shows. And we were in New York, and I'd met you before this, but we were welcomed into the Warehouse 13 family by the cast of Eureka, and they were like, oh, we're just like a big family here. And then last year, 2 years ago, I saw you and I was like, hey, welcome. It's true. It was
such a breath of fresh air. I was so nervous. It was going to upfronts, and it was before we even started filming. So everybody's kind of aware of you, but not really sure why you're there. But sort of, and I came into this, network and into this room, kind of just not knowing what to expect. And Eddie walked right up to me and welcomed me to the family. And so meeting Colin did the same thing, and just to, I don't know, it was so wonderful. So to be sitting here with them now is a huge honor. And then, of course, what's going through my mind is going, oh my gosh, they're watching my work. I'm sitting here while they're watching my work. I don't know how I feel about that. That's what, what actors
You look great,
think.
by the way. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. There's a little, I had it actually.
Eddie looked a little weird with his
Actually, I look like Danny from Greece. What?
Deep thoughts.
Yeah. Yes. 6 years of college for me.
I actually have a sock in my hair in that scene, and that's a little interesting hair fact.
Interestingly enough, I had a sock in my
Anyway.
And that's what we're thinking.
Start you there. Any other questions?
My question to you is, now that you've done all the holiday specials together, do you have some holiday traditions now that you're doing on the set?
No. Traditions that have come up from shooting the holiday episodes. We've only done 2, so I don't think there'll be another tradition to follow. Exactly. We're going to do a pantomime in my garage.
Well, on Warehouse 13, we have a band room. And there's drums and a couple guitars and a shaky egg, one of the shaky eggs. And so everybody goes up there and hangs out and has holiday cheer up there. So I guess it would be the closest thing that we have to a tradition like that. Yeah.
Also, just to get back to the last question, one of the things I get amused about is also things like seeing Eric sweat. Because we all sort of know the tricks of shooting at different times of the year, so we know it's July, and it's like, ha, 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 ha. So that stuff makes me laugh, the fake snow is like, oh yeah, you gotta go, yeah.
Yeah. I
wearing a
We
sweater.
actually did the reverse. Season 1, Warehouse 13, it was the Resonance. We actually shot out of order. We shot Resonance first. And Micah and Pete were supposed to be in Colorado in kind of a semi-balmy, snow-covered, beautiful town in Colorado. And we were in like this insane, I mean, the crew had those parkas on where all you can see is like this, and with the fur, the Arctic parkas, and Joanne and I were dressed in like, you know, a light blazer and stuff, and literally you'd be like this and they go, and action, and then it'd stop, and as soon as they go, cut your...
That's me every day.
It's just,
every day of my life.
Yeah.
So they do the ice cube thing? They'll like suck in the ice cube until they yell action, so your breath doesn't have the smoke?
Oh.
That's awful. You're in a t-shirt in sub-zero weather with an ice cube in your mouth. You're like,
thanks, rub it in.
Action. Yeah.
Enjoys it. Actually, Canada. Any other? No, sure.
Wow.
We got a lot of
Blah, blah, blah.
Since the specials have shades of inspiration from other movies and specials and everything, what are your personal most favorite holiday movies, TV specials, and then the ones that you hate and why?
Well, I was thinking when I was getting ready this morning for this, I was trying to think of, all the other Christmas episodes kind of in history that have been out there and, have gone on. And the one I just laughed because the ones that I really remember are like the Muppet Christmas specials from when I was a little kid. I just remember being so excited and going into the living room and, because that's what the great thing is about Christmas episodes. It's kind of this, when you don't have a large, plus 20 order of television, when you have these now 13 episodes, it's really kind of great to have a Christmas gift that you give the fans the middle of the year when you're not around. You get attached to these people and attached to these characters, so to be able to have them come over for the holidays is a lot of fun. And I just remember that. I just remember going around the Christmas. It's part of that, Christmas traditions. Those Christmas traditions is watching, the Charlie Brown Christmas Story and, Rudolph, and having all these things come on air. So to have our characters be a part of that story and a part of the experience for the family, to me, is really awesome.
I think it's a Wonderful Life and The Grinch are probably one from, and one from Canada that nobody knows or watches, but it's The Sweater. If you've ever seen it, then from the National Film Board of Canada, the Roche Carrier story about this kid who gets a hockey sweater from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's a Canadiens fan, and the end of it is this horrible ending where he goes to church and begs God to make moths eat it. The end. it's really weird. Yeah, exactly. So that's one that my brother and I, we always used to like,
The sweater.
Yeah, and it's 15 minutes long. And Roche Carrier, I think he actually narrates it, so it's this really thick French-Canadian accent the whole time. When I was a small boy growing up in Quebec. You gotta watch it. It's 15 minutes long. Best 15 minutes of your life.
For me, it's because I grew up and I used to have to get up and actually turn the channel on the TV. So the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the abominable snowman. When they put the mud on Rudolph's nose, and then he had the T-top like this until the mud came off, and they all made fun of him. And I guess I related somehow. I used to put mud on my nose. This was before DVDs and any of that, so you actually had to wait a full year to ever see any of these shows again. Like my boys now, they have the DVDs and they watch Christmas shows all year round. So I don't know. It seemed those shows, I guess, they mean more to me, because I had to wait so long to get to see them again. So.
Was there another? Was Father Tom? Was that a different Rankin and Bass one, or was the Rudolph one the only?
There was Here Comes Santa. Santa Claus is coming to
Frosty the Snowman.
Which was the one with Father Time, where it got scary in the middle? Do you remember?
Well, there was the one with the Heat Miser and then the Snow Miser.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
What's it go?
I'm Mr. Heat. I'm Mr. 101.
I'm Mr. Toys.
I want to be a dentist.
But what about the ones you hate?
Oh,
The sweater.
A very Barney Christmas. A very Barney Christmas.
Oh.
no, I'm blanking. You got, what do you hate? Anyone have one that they hate?
A Jersey Shore Christmas. Hey, yo! I love that.
Oh, guess what? It's a contender.
Oh, really?
It's a love and hate.
Yeah, you gotta see this way.
I think that's it. So, one last question that we must ask.
For Eddie, fans are just devastated about what happened to Jinx. Very cool. And I was wondering what the cast reaction was.
Man, I can tell you, I mean, it was an emotional day when we shot that. You know, because Allison Scagliotti is so just, her presence is just such, for a young kid, you know, she's so amazing. So for me, you know, when Pete comes down those stairs and sees the reaction on Claudia's face, and when she kind of intuitively knows what happened, I mean, just talking about it, I don't know, it's one of those moments as an actor for me where I go, that's as real or as close to showing people a true base emotion as I'm going to get, you know. And so it was really powerful. I mean, to watch it for me was because I think Aaron did such a great job making Jinx a likable character that it was hard to see him that way when we walk in and see him eyes open like that. It was tough. I mean, it was very quiet that day on the set, and you know, as the saying goes, you're never dead in sci-fi, really. So who knows who knows what'll happen, whether he'll be back or not. I don't ask because I like to discover, you know, as we go along. But I sure hope that I sure hope he comes back.
Okay, so these guys are going to be down here for a few minutes to chat with you. We're also going to then break for lunch, which is going to be at Jake's American Restaurant Bar. So we'll see you there. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, guys.